Hey guys, this is Pineapple, and today we'll be talking about the greatness that is Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer. This anime is definitely my anime of the season right now, and I'm so happy that it's going to be 26 episodes, so we're going to be enjoying it for quite some time. Today we're talking about how Tanjiro's first mission continues after episode 6 cuts off, and a terrifying meeting getting ready to happen. But first, let's hit that intro. Hit it! Okay, so in episode 6 of Kimetsu no Yaiba, Tanjiro goes to a village that's been terrorized by a demon who's been kidnapping all of the women. The town wants the women back if possible and wants to know how these women are being kidnapped because the disappearances are very mysterious. Tanjiro comes across the Swamp Demon, which is the demon responsible for these kidnappings, and the battle begins. Now, the Swamp Demon can move through portals that it creates in the ground and lives in a three-dimensional space that it occupies in a sort of pocket dimension below the surface. Even without these portals, this demon is incredibly fast, but with them, it makes it really difficult for Tanjiro to land a crippling blow on it. The Swamp Demon splits in three, and the multiple clones start coming at Tanjiro, and Nezuko protects him by opening her box with a kick that sent the demon's head spinning. In the last video, we talked about how Urokodaki used subliminal messaging and suggestions on Nezuko while she was asleep to instill certain values in her. She knows to follow Tanjiro's orders, and she sees all of humanity as her family members, which makes demons the ultimate enemy since they're putting them in danger. Nezuko starts chasing after the various demons and attacking them, but when she goes to slam her heel down and completely crush the demon's skull, he darts away with that incredible speed. Tanjiro is amazed at how capable Nezuko is, because in his head she's still his little sister suffering from a terrible sickness that they're trying to cure. He worries if it's really okay to let her operate individually from him in battle, but he remembers that Urokodaki said that Nezuko should be able to protect herself now, so he has faith in his master and concentrates on the demons while she protects the humans nearby. As he steps forward to get involved, two of the swamp demons open a large portal under Tanjiro and drag him down into the pitch black swamp pocket dimension. While Tanjiro is here, he sees the various kimono of the victims that have been kidnapped from the village. He's disgusted, but the two demons don't give him much time to think. They start darting all around him, and Tanjiro thinks to himself that there's only one move that he can use in this weird sort of underwater world. He doesn't have a solid foothold on anything, which is necessary for most sword forms, but there is a move that basically lets him spin himself with great force when he's underwater to create an upward spinning blade of waves. We cut to Nezuko, and Nezuko is fighting one-on-one against the main swamp demon. Now, the demon that she's fighting one-on-one is terrified and confused. Nezuko is in her normal form, she hasn't made herself any bigger, and she isn't using any of her powers. But even so, she's just casually running up to him and punching him so hard that he spits out blood. The swamp demon thinks that Nezuko must have been given a lot of Muzan's blood, because she is definitely capable of being a very powerful demon. If you want to know how the demons are created and how the amount of blood that they get from Muzan dictates their power level, check out my video explaining demons and their rankings. This is pretty much the swamp demon wondering if Nezuko is secretly powerful enough to be considered a lower moon demon, but before he's really able to experience a full drawn-out battle with Nezuko, or we're able to see anything that she's able to do, Tanjiro cuts in. He begins interrogating the demon, and this is where we start seeing some of the true darkness in Tanjiro's character. He seemed like such a bubbly guy, and he honestly is, but you've got to remember that though Tanjiro can still laugh and he can still joke around sometimes, he's still got to be crushed by the reality of what his life has become, and there's a very specific target for the resulting emotions, but more on that at the end of the video. Earlier in the series, we saw Tanjiro having a hard time thinking of how he would kill the temple demon. Even when he fought against the big mutated demon during the final selection exam, he showed a sort of compassion for it and hoped that it didn't get reincarnated as someone that would become a demon ever again. With this demon, Tanjiro has seen some of the disgusting things that the demon has done, and the demon doesn't really see any problem with his actions at all. The demon says that he was doing the town a favor by killing the women while they were young, because once they get old, they spoil. As someone who's had sisters and a mom who were killed by a demon, Tanjiro very quickly loses his patience with this demon and makes a terrifying face, and then starts cutting the demon up and asking him about the king of demons himself, Kibutsuji Muzan. Don't forget that this is Tanjiro's real goal here. Tanjiro cuts a bunch of demons in the forest down, asking them how to change a demon back into a human, hoping that eventually one demon that he comes across will maybe give him the answer. But now that he knows Kibutsuji Muzan's name thanks to Urokodaki, that's become one of his main priorities. It's this sort of balance for Tanjiro because on one hand, Tanjiro wants to heal his sister for all the right reasons, but mixed in there is definitely a desire to get revenge for what Muzan did to his family, much like how Gon wanted revenge for what Pito did to Kite. When Tanjiro questions the demon about Muzan, the demon starts absolutely breaking down. Sure, the demon was already kind of scared of Tanjiro, but this is obviously a different kind of fear. We flash back to the demon's past, and this is where we start seeing the King of Darkness himself threatening the swamp demon back when he was a human, and telling him that he must never say anything to anyone about Muzan, or Muzan's gonna know. This is an agreement that you've gotta imagine that all the demons have to agree to if they're gonna be taking on Muzan's blood, and it's awful to see that Muzan really just goes around to certain people, forces demon blood on them, and then forces them to keep everything about him secret. It really makes you think about how sad it is that normal people get twisted and corrupted by this demon blood, and then they're turned into the demons that our characters kill throughout the series. Tanjiro gets attacked by the demon as it starts to panic, and he executes it, and ultimately he walks away without getting information on Muzan. We get a really heart-touching moment that highlights how miserable Tanjiro's life really is, and ultimately the end of this first mission is pretty sad, but sadness definitely isn't on Tanjiro's mind. What's on his mind is rage. He realizes that Muzan hasn't just ruined Tanjiro's life, but he has been doing it to countless other people, and that's something that Tanjiro just can't forgive. Beyond Muzan being the enemy of Tanjiro's family, beyond what he's done to Nezuko, Muzan's actions against humanity as a whole are what I think is most unforgivable to Tanjiro, and I think if you read his mind at this moment right here, he'd be thinking about hunting Muzan down and forcing him to undo all of the damage that he's done before brutally murdering him. As Tanjiro starts to calm down and gather himself, he grabs Nezuko and his raven lets him know that the second mission is starting and he has to head to a nearby town where there's rumors of a demon. So excitingly enough, we're heading right into the next mission, and Tanjiro was pretty much unhurt from this first mission, so he decides to go to the town and get a tea break with Nezuko before officially starting his investigation. As he sits down to take a sip of his tea, he catches a whiff of something and drops the cup in an absolute panic. Huh? What's going on? This scent. What could it be? Tanjiro gets up and leaves Nezuko, that's how urgent this is, and starts running towards the crowd, following this particular scent. Tanjiro rushes through and grabs someone's shoulder, and we see that Tanjiro's hand is covered in veins. He's furious, and he starts grabbing the hell out of this person. He literally forces the person to turn around and look him in the face, and who is it, people, but Kibutsuji Muzan himself. Muzan gets his shoulder grabbed and gets turned around by this human, and the veins in his head pulse and his demon eyes activate. Right as Tanjiro sees his face, he starts to draw his blade, and that's where we're gonna end the video. So what happens next? Find out by watching Kimetsu no Yaiba every week on Hulu or Crunchyroll. I'm not sponsored by either of them. I just needed to end the video. There's just so many things happening here before we've even met the main characters, but that's just the greatness that is Kimetsu. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I'll be back next week with more Kimetsu content, but be ready for some Neverland and My Hero videos dropping this week. I'll see you guys next time, and the intro is coming. Just know, this is Pineapple. I'll see you later. Peace.